Founder fans, Jason here, and today's founder is Westell Willoughby. Now, Westell Willoughby is a fairly obscure American founder, but that's okay. If you're new here, okay, fudge me and the fudgers. Hi, Founder fans, Jason here, and today's founder is Westell Willoughby. Now, if you're new here, I put out videos about the American Revolution 5 days a week, so if you like that kind of thing, make sure you hit like and subscribe for new content all week long. Anyway, Westell Willoughby was raised in Connecticut, and he was trained as a physician or a doctor. After that, he moved to Central New York, more accurately, the Mohawk Valley of New York. And while he was there, he became a leading citizen. He was elected as a judge and to his county board. And while he was serving on this county board, something very peculiar happened. The county board decided to recommend that Thomas Jefferson be president of the United States of America. And while that might not sound very crazy or interesting to you, well, this is in 1807. Closing in on the end of Thomas Jefferson's second term. So actually what they wanted to do was recommend Thomas Jefferson run for a third term. And as clerk of the county board, responsibility for writing the letter to Thomas Jefferson fell onto today's founder, Westell Willoughby. Willoughby writes this letter to Jefferson. Now, obviously, Jefferson didn't listen, but what's interesting is we today think, well, you can only run for 2 terms. Well, that wasn't always true. You might also think, well, George Washington set the precedent that you only run for 2 terms, only broken in the 1930s by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Well, what's interesting is, yes, George Washington set that precedent, but it only became a precedent when Thomas Jefferson followed it. You need someone to do something again for it to be a precedent. If George Washington just did it and everyone else had 1 term, well, that wouldn't be a precedent now, would it? So it was only after Jefferson and then after him, Madison and Monroe only followed for 2 terms that the precedent was established. And Westell Willoughby and his colleagues were saying, we don't like that precedent. Thomas Jefferson, you're doing a great job. Why don't you stick around? Of course he didn't. Now, Westell Willoughby would continue as a leader in his community, and he himself would run for the United States House of Representatives just a few years later. He ran against a gentleman named William Stevens Smith, who was a son-in-law of former President John Adams. Now, it was an extremely close race, and at first it looked like William Stevens Smith won the election, but there was a recount, which I know is all the rage right now, and Westell Willoughby actually ended up winning on the recount. And it went to the House of Representatives, who reviewed the information, and the House of Representatives actually voted to allow Westell in as the winner. Westell would continue as a very important physician when he returned in upstate New York, and eventually he founded the College of Physicians and Surgeons, which was an early and important medical school in the United States, and eventually it would be bought out by Syracuse University, and now today still operates as Upstate Medical University, which is here in Central New York, not far from where I live. And actually, if I were in a serious emergency, would probably go to the university, the hospital that was originally chartered by one Westell Willoughby. So there's a little bit of personal connection for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like I said, hit like and subscribe, and check out one of our other videos. I have lots of random founders and American Revolutionary stories for you to enjoy.